Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Hey everyone, we're back with more 5-Minute Mechs, and today we're looking at the Hussar. The story of the Hussar is an odd and tragic one, at least in my opinion. It was once considered one of the Star League's standard light mechs with a simple design concept that would allow it to be built quickly and in large numbers. The Hussar, however, wouldn't enjoy the widespread success of many of its contemporaries and find itself extinct by the Il Clan era. The standard Hussar in use by the SLDF was introduced in 2620 by Newhart Industries, the HSR 200D. Hussar was built around a massive 270 rated fusion power plant, giving it a top speed of 151 kilometers per hour and powering its only weapon system, an extended range large laser mounted dorsally in its center torso. The Hussar's armor protection was seen as a secondary defense, as it would utilize its speed as its primary protection and carried a scant 1.5 tons of ferrofibrous armor. The 200D Hussar would serve with distinction for over 100 years, but as usual, the Star League Royal Divisions would eventually want an enhanced variant to call their own, and they got it in 2735. The Royal Hussar 200DB would be a significant upgrade to the platform. The standard 270 rated engine was swapped out with an extra light version. Newhart Industries would use the weight savings from this to increase the Hussar's capabilities as a recon platform by adding a Beagle active probe and Guardian ECM suite. The addition of the ECM suite enhanced the Hussar's capability to conceal itself while observing enemy units, while the Beagle active probe greatly improved the Hussar's ability to collect information while doing so. The 200DB also received increased armor protection by 400%, bringing it on par with many of the Star League's other recon platforms in use at the time. The majority of the Hussars, be they royal or otherwise, would depart with Kerensky on his exodus. Those that stayed generally saw their ferrofibrous armor replaced with standard armor, their extended range large laser downgraded to a standard version, and their double heat sinks swapped out for standard versions. These downgraded 300D models would serve primarily with the Draconis Combine, with quite a few coming from Comstar before the War of 3039. In 3052, using data from the recovered Helm memory core, the Hussar would return to production, this time by Coventry Metalworks, with the introduction of the 400D model. The Hussar 400D was a radical departure from earlier variants, as it carried an LB-10X autocannon as its primary weapon, fed by a single ton of ammunition. The 400D had a top speed of 129 km per hour and carried only 3 tons of armor. With a slower speed, as well as light armor, the 400D was a much easier target to hit and destroy than its predecessors. Also, the inclusion of the autocannon and its single ton of ammunition forced mech warriors to commit to either solid or cluster ammunition for the LBX autocannon before their missions, and hope to hell that the intel they got was right. Personally, I believe that this variant was designed to pander to the Davian purchasers in the combined Federated Commonwealth Quartermaster Corps, while appeasing the big gun go boom social generals in the Lyran half of the Commonwealth. Surprisingly, the 400D would see success in the export market, with it seeing service in Comstar, the Word of Blake, and mercenary commands throughout the Inner Sphere. The Hussar service to the states of the Federated Commonwealth would last until the FedCon Civil War, and eventually it would only serve the Word of Blake, tarnishing its reputation. The Word of Blake would build 3 models of the Hussar at the occupied Coventry Metalworks, where they held the planet during their misguided rampage across the Inner Sphere. The first of these is the 500D model. This model of the Hussar was based on the older 200D with a top speed of 151 km per hour and carried 5.5 tons of armor, much like the Royal Hussar. It carries an extended range particle projection cannon as its only offensive weapon, with an improved C3 computer allowing it to serve as a standoff scout, which is kind of a weird role when you think about it. I do want to say that this may be a refit wrongfully attributed to Coventry Metalworks, though, as it does have a deployment of the pre-Blakist kerfuffle, according to my records. The next of these is the 900D. I'm once again confused by this one, as it's an autocannon carrier on two legs with a light autocannon 2 mounted in the center torso. It maintains 151 km per hour top speed through the use of a light engine and carries 4.5 tons of heavy ferrofibrous armor, making it well protected for its size. The autocannon is fed from a ton of case protected ammunition in its right torso, and the 900D can survive the loss of a side torso, unlike its extra light engine powered cousins. The last Hussar on record is the 950D. The 950D has the same speed as the 900D by using an extra light engine and is protected by 5.5 tons of heavy ferrofibrous armor. It mounts an extended range medium laser in each arm and a snub-nosed PPC in the center torso, making the 950 an excellent mid-range fighter when it does have to stay around and fight. The Hussar served briefly with the Republic of the Sphere after the defeat of the Word of Blake. As Coventry never restarted production, though, it has, like the Mackie, faded into history with only a few scattered throughout known space. With any luck, the Hussar will eventually shake its Blakist stigma, go back into production, and we will see it in service again. Thank you to my patrons. At Captain, we have Sarah. Lieutenants, we have Boy in a Box and Nasty Taurus. Sergeants, BZ Archer, Steven, Faz, Housemaster Poding, and Country Fried Minis. And our cadets, Scott, Jamie, NB Kaiju, Domini, and Brother Carr. I also want to thank my channel members, Miss J. Speechly, Anonymous Only Agent, and Greg Swars. And finally, Unicorn Company's sponsor, Fortress Miniatures and Games. Check them out. They're a huge supporter of the community and the best place to get all your Battletech needs taken care of. If you want to support Unicorn Company, you can become a channel member here on YouTube or a patron at patreon.com/unicorncompany. Links to my sponsors, also Country Fried Minis and Scott's Game Room, will be in the description. Thank you all, and stay safe out there, Mech Warriors. This is Carrie, signing off.